Okay, so hey guys, welcome to Trident Theory, and today we're looking at a show that I really like. But first, if people are wondering why this bird is here instead of me, where I'm using this bird to represent myself, it's because this is Porygon, one of my favorite Pokemon, and I just want to use it in my videos, and I'm not going to show my face from now on, so just I don't know, bear with that. Okay, anyway, on to this. This TV show, which I grew up with watching, is Oggy and the Cockroaches. I couldn't get the rest of the seasons, you just have to do with season 4. Okay, so Oggy and the Cockroaches is one of the best shows that I grew up with. And I'm going to be introducing the characters here, and I'm going to be showing you a few episodes. I don't know if everybody knows what the show is, but I think most people here in India know what it is. So anyways, I'll move on. It's been a really good show. And introducing the first character, that is of course Oggy himself. So he's a blue cat who lives in a house. But surprisingly, I don't know how he has money when he has no job. But that is something that's never brought up again. And so that's okay, I guess. Anyways, his intro screen in the show, I don't know, I'm not sure. But anyway, he's a blue cat. And instead, one thing I noticed, he's not even realistic. But that doesn't matter, it's cartoon after all. So he has black ears and a red nose, which he can also detach. Don't ask me why that's there. And like most cartoon characters, he wears white gloves, though you can't see it here. In fact, most of the characters wear white gloves. Yeah, I think there's something universal among cartoon characters, but I guess it's okay. So he's a blue cat who likes gardening, knitting, and does not like sports. That is pretty much his persona right there. He pretty much stays indoors, and he lives in a purple house, which I'm going to show you after I introduce all the main characters. So that's pretty much it, and pretty much about Oggy. And he lives in the house, and he very comedic person. And just by the way, nobody in the show speaks with like words, they just speak using sounds, even the humans. It's a bit like The Sims, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so that's Oggy. So anyway, just to sum up, he's a cat, a blue cat with a detachable nose, who is really into indoor stuff. He does a lot of indoor things. Just makes stuff. So that's that. And onwards to moving with our next character. Next 3 characters. The cockroaches. So yeah, well, they cover up Oggy. So the cockroaches live in Oggy's house. They mostly live in the air vents inside his house. And they love doing pranks, getting in trouble, and yeah, they just love to get in trouble. That is something that is universal among these cockroaches. So first you have Joey. Joey is very short. In fact, he's the shortest among all 3. And he's the leader of the group. As that is why he's in the center. And he's the scheming one. He's the one who comes up with all the plans. And he's very good at tech. As in like one episode, he uses a blowtorch to get into Oggy's fridge, and he does a lot of things like that. So even then, he's very scheming, and he has a very short temper. Like most of the things where Oggy basically tries to get them out of his house, because it's his house. Even if they are cockroaches, even if they are pests, they still have to come out of his house one day. But that's basically the plot thing of each episode, where Oggy does something like that. He tries to get them out, or he hits them, which I honestly don't blame him. It's his house. And Joey just comes up with the scheme, and the other two just help him. That's basically the whole thing. Yeah, and there's some magical object or something that guides him. It's really funny, even though it sounds a bit weird. So, anyways, Marky. I know, weird name, but you have to go with it. He's really tall, and he likes dancing and eating caviar, I guess. Yeah, and there's one episode where Oggy gets caviar and these cockroaches try to steal it. So that's Marky, I guess. By the way, he's the only cockroach with these curly antennas. I guess this is like something like how some humans have curly hair, other cockroaches have antennas like this. Although he's the only cockroach with antennas like this. He's green and grey. And this one is pink and purple. So anyway, thing about me, I thought all cockroaches look like this. Until I saw one inside the house, and yeah, that's how I knew it. When I was small, I just thought all cockroaches were multicolored and had two different types of colored eyes. And yeah, that's basically what I thought. Next, last but not least, we have Dee Dee. Okay, never mind. He basically likes to eat. And there's one episode where he gets too fat to run from Oggy, and he just about like, it's one of my favorite episodes where he becomes less obese, but then he eats like one piece of junk food and he becomes normal size, this size. He is the largest and he's orange and blue. And I don't know like why, but every time in every episode, all the characters will like become like what to put it, they'll either gain weight or lose it. And the moment they eat junk food, after they gain weight or lose weight, they just return back to original form. I guess something in the Oggy universe that just goes unexplained. So anyways, next character is Jack. So Jack is, we're never really told what he is. Most people who watched the show at first thought he was Oggy's brother, but they actually revealed that he's Oggy's cousin, and a very distant cousin. I'll tell you why in a second. We'll get back to why he's a distant cousin. It's like what Jack's story is. My theory is he's one of Oggy's distant cousins. So he's like Oggy's sidekick, but I think he didn't meet Oggy until very recently, before the season 1 of the show started. And the reason for that is, well, how do I put it? I'll go back to why I think he's a distant cousin who didn't meet Oggy until recently, but he's one of my favorite characters. He's grey and green for some reason. I've never seen a green cat in my life, and I never hope I do, but we'll go up there. He too can detach his nose. And yeah, that's one thing. And sometimes he lives with Oggy, sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he has his own house. I'm not really sure why. And he's just like really buff, but he's not the strongest character. The strongest character is the character we're going to see next. And he always has this grin. And he's very charming, depicted like that. And he dreams that he had a fancy car. Yeah, we know that in one of the episodes where he gets granted a wish and he asks for a fancy car. The thing in that episode is even Oggy gets granted a wish, but Oggy wishes for a van to carry all his groceries home. So yeah, like that. So anyway, this is Jack. Again, to sum up, he's like green cat who's Oggy's protagonist. I think he's Oggy's distant cousin who Oggy didn't meet. And they're really good friends and cousins. The Oggy Wikipedia said he's a cousin, and I'm not going to question that. So anyway, so let's move on to the next character, who is Bob. So Bob, I think he's the only main character who's a dog. And he's friendly with you as long as you stay away from him. And judging by how he's eating Oggy here and he doesn't give a crap about it, I'm thinking So you probably get the idea. This is why I chose this picture, because it depicts Bob in just one picture. He's this big bulldog who is really, so basically this gag is that where Oggy annoys him, and when Oggy annoys him, he gets pissed and he'll try to either beat up Oggy or do something very horrific to Oggy. There's also one episode where he takes over Oggy's house because Oggy broke his house, and he just does bad stuff to Oggy, and he's supposed to be the main antagonist after the cockroaches. The cockroaches are basically the ones who are the main antagonists, of course, but he's the other one of the other ones. So that is Bob. That is basically him. He lives in a house next to Oggy's, which, I'm going to be showing Oggy's world in a few minutes. This is Bob. He's the strongest character. I mentioned like Jack is really buff, but Bob has a lot of strength. He can literally beat up anybody in the character. That's what I'm sure. Okay, so next we have our first two characters. Okay, this is Ollie and Mona. So Ollie is Oggy's wife. She wasn't his wife until they get married in the episode Oggy gets married. And she's like his love interest. So that has to be there. So these two are really good friends. And this is like where Olivia is there. She's Oggy's love interest. This is Jack's love interest, Mona. And you're wondering why Oggy and her are basically the same. It's because she's Oggy's twin sister. And yes, that's her hair. It's not a cap. So she's into extreme sports. She's into gardening. Two of them are best friends, and to be honest, they kind of look like twins. So she's Jack's love interest. And I think they get married because there's one thing where she has a kitten and Jack is with her. So I think, And why Jack is a distant cousin who hardly shows up, but then he meets Oggy, is because Jack doesn't know that Oggy has a sister. In the episode where Mona is introduced, she's there and Jack doesn't know she exists. And Oggy has to do this whole introduction thing and tell their whole backstory and introduce. So that's why I think Jack is a distant cousin. Because if he was Oggy's brother, like how everybody said, he would definitely know who she was. I'm just saying. Just to show you don't go too much into it. Finally, the last character is Oggy's grandma. And she's the toughest, oldest lady who's probably you've ever seen. And she just has this kind of really long hair, which is really funny to me. I just don't know why, but she has this really long hair. So anyway, that's her. And they're the cockroaches. This one episode where she's introduced. That's the only episode, but she comes back to cheer Oggy when Oggy goes to Navy in another episode. But it's the first episode where she introduced, and it's a frame from that episode. So cockroach try to mess with her, but like I said, she's one tough old woman, and I put it gently, she deals with them. So she's the only cat who like Oggy and Jack can do this, and this 80-something lady, she can do it. And Oggy has no idea about this, because I'm just saying, Oggy has no idea. Her grandson has no idea that she's beating up the cockroaches that annoy him. I'm just saying. So anyway, that's all the characters. So now we'll be moving on to Oggy's world and his home. This is Oggy's house. It has two greenish bluish doors that are teal colored, and every other house just has a red roof and regular windows, but Oggy's house is different. I guess to distinguish it, to see it. Like I said, this house has an infinite number of rooms. Also, the Wikipedia said these houses are inspired on the houses from Long Island in New York. So I'm guessing Oggy lives there and also, but we never know where he lives. The show is the show is French, so I'm guessing it happens somewhere in France, but we can't be too sure. So anyways, this is Oggy's house. It has a chimney, a very small one. And like I said, Oggy is good at gardening, so there's some few plants back there. He has a garage. And this house has an infinite number of rooms. It's literally the most best house anybody would want to live in. It has a living room, a nursery, a kitchen, two separate bathrooms, different bedrooms, a party hall, and just so much more. I can't stress on how many rooms this house have. Some rooms are featured a lot, other rooms they're only featured once or twice. It seems like every time Oggy needs a room, he just thinks of one and it shows up. And also yes, it has an attic and a garage and like an infinite number of rooms. I'm just telling you that much. So anyway, that's the show, and I'm just going to quickly be talking about where the show's headed. So Oggy recently got rebooted. I'm not really happy with that. So he has two new versions of himself now. This is small Oggy and this is, I don't know what they call that. It's just all called Oggy. This is this is the classic Oggy version, but he also has a less realistic version, which honestly has better art style, but these are not the same things. So in the first one, this is a classic story that everybody knows about Oggy, where he lives with cockroaches and with Jack. But in this one, Jack is completely missing. There is no Jack in the second Oggy where it's rebooted. They just removed Jack. Instead he lives with the elephant. I'm not really sure. And in the third one is basically just like a kid show, like Dora the Explorer or something like that. So yeah, I like the second one, but I absolutely hate the third one. I think they should do like a special where all these different versions meet up. I'm just saying. So anyway, that is pretty much the world. I hope you enjoyed it, and we're going to be watching one or two episodes. I don't have much time left. We're going to be watching a few episodes. So that is all. And yes, I'll be using this Pokemon. And if you're wondering where I got this idea from, I got this idea from Royal Pear, who also uses Pokemon as his mascot, and it's going to be our channel mascot. But I'm not going to change the logo. The logo is still going to be a trident, but this is going to be a mascot. So yeah, I'm just saying. So don't be surprised. Next episode. Okay, anyway, so we're going to be watching a little bit of Oggy and the Cockroaches. Maybe one episode, two episodes. So hold on. Right, here it is. So Oggy goes green. It's honestly one of the best episodes. That's Oggy right there. Like I said, this is one or two bathrooms. So you can see he has pictures of like film stars there and like really good bathroom. I'm not complaining anything. You only see this much of it though. Like I said, the bathrooms in Oggy are really weird. Like the toilet is in another separate bathroom. There's no toilet in this one. There's only a bathtub and a sink. But the other bathroom also has a bathtub and a sink. So anyway, we're going to be watching. So he's taking a bath right now. Like I said, that's Oggy's house. So yeah, I'm gonna let you watch. Like I said, this is why I love Oggy. Like just for like their wacky humor, and it's one of the shows that I really grew up with and I really liked. And just the iconic cockroach laugh. Just love the laugh that they have. You can see they haven't done anything. They just show it in pictures, all the conversations. Looks like Oggy needs a new geezer. Yeah, the scene always had me laughing. because it's a funny scene. So anyway, he's ordering new solar panels. And it's really cheap and it comes really fast. Just with a wacky humor that I like it. It's really good. And he's opening the package now. And there are the solar panels. Looks like my bro needs to read the instructions first. Because I'm running out of time, we're just going to be speeding it up a bit. So anyway, cockroaches are just making it up well. So Oggy. So anyway, he's finished setting it. And yeah, this is happening now. He's going to try it out and it works. Oggy loves it. So he's ordering more and more. Honestly, bro, you need to be kind of off solar panels. And yeah, that's one of the wacky things. Just as like random humor. You think he's gonna survive this one, but he can't go like 5 seconds without getting a dent in it. You can see the rest is just. Oh yeah, that was the other bathroom. This is the bathroom I'm talking about. See, this is where his toilet is. There's no toilet in the other bathroom. This is just where his toilet is. So yeah, there's a lot of rooms in his house, but this is where you don't see much of the rooms. You can see this is Bob. He's mostly shown outside. We don't see inside of his house in the first season. And he's struggling, I guess. But the cockroaches have a plan to ruin it all. Classic cockroaches. I'm just saying, classic cockroaches. Like I said, Oggy goes grocery shopping, but I'm not really sure where he gets his money from. Okay. He just does gardening and a few other things. And does knitting in a few episodes as well. He's just living life. As you can see, almost all the houses look the same. Oops. So like I said, Bob often gets disturbed by these guys. I'm just saying. And also there's a city nearby, which is just surrounded by the same houses. I don't know who even lives like that. But okay. So Oggy lives in the suburbs. And he's just going. Oops, look like they cut space as well. And as you can see, she comes to a rescue. And she's blocking the sun with her bedsheet kite. Like I said, she's like really sympathetic. I honestly don't know why she's so sympathetic towards a bunch of cockroaches, but okay. Oops. Looks like somebody's doing good. Ha. So like I said, this is why I like Oggy. It's honestly been one of the best shows in my childhood. And I don't know why it's getting, like, I don't know, it's getting all like full rebooted and stuff. And I don't like the newer versions, but here in India, Oggy is still pretty much the same. They have these episodes where he goes around the world. I don't like those much. I just like the classic Oggy episode where everything happens at home. And I'm just saying, it's just like really cool. But these days it started getting a bit much. But anyways, that's okay. So I'm gonna end the video here. It's 25 minutes. And I hope you like my new videos. And this is me logging off. Also like, subscribe, and yes, push the bell button, and please subscribe. And subscribe to Royal Pear. I got the idea for making a Pokemon, a channel mascot from him. And he deserves the credit for this awesome mascot. Like I said, it's a Porygon. And if you want to look that up, you can look that up as well. So it's me signing off.